Hey guys, welcome back to Surreal Beauty. I'm Tiffany, aspiring mental health clinician, and we're back with another video. I'm super excited because I know I haven't been posting much videos lately, and I'll give you a reason why. I am literally at the last home stretch, 4 weeks of finishing and completing my master's. It has been a long journey just to get to this point, and I'm super excited to finally say that I am this close to reaching the finish line. So as you can only imagine, just a lot of transition changes and things like that. But I definitely want to give you guys a scoop on what's been happening, what's been going on. Let's kind of talk about just what this process has been like from the last time I posted my video like a month ago till now. So lately I have been focusing on like the last two, well, I'm taking 3 classes, but one of them is really internship. An internship is basically when you actually get out into the field, you take a class, and in that class you are reporting your experience at your site and things like that with your peers, colleagues. And then I'm taking a stress management course and a family violence course. Those courses have been going really great. It's really crazy how fast time goes by. Learning a lot. I think things have been running so smoothly. And so I'll talk about my internship and then a little bit about the classes I'm taking. And so we'll start with the internship. So with that, I am in the second part of my internship. You have to do internship 1, internship 2. I'm officially internship 2, and it's been an interesting experience. So in internship, I am currently placed at an inpatient recovery clinic site. And so I am working with individuals who are recovering from addiction. And I work with both males and females. And a bit of what my role looks like, there's a lot of groups. We run group sessions. We run individual sessions. We also run family and couples counseling. And so for me, I will be really stepping up in the family and couples counseling. So basically, a lot of these individuals, from the moment they start, whether it's by choice or court ordered, they are there, and it's about up to from 6 months to a year they can stay. And so they are given this time to really just reflect and focus and, get situated and prioritize so that they can go back into the world as productive, human civilians. And so a lot of what I do now currently is on clients' way to becoming discharged. I am the individual who they see. I meet with them as well as their significant others or their families to help them kind of get prepared for the next steps as they get back into regular work. And so a bit of what that looks like is, let's say you have some family members who they haven't seen their daughter or son for the last 6 months. They haven't been with them for the last 6 months to a year. And so they have to learn how to readjust to their child coming back and living with them. And so part of my job is to prepare families to let them know these are going to be some of the changes that you can expect to experience. And these are the steps in the process that you should take, and to be gentle as the individuals coming back into regular society, because you have to remember a lot of these individuals have been in like this bubble for about 6 months, even up to 2 years. And so having to go back and readjust to living with their families, it's really quite an adjustment. And so their families needing to learn, understand, and just receive some psychoeducation on what that looks like and how to show up for their daughter or son. So with that being said, if outside of family, let's say that the person, when they're being discharged, they're going back to living with a significant other, it's really important, again, to get those two individuals in the counseling office together and provide a lot of psychoeducation, learning next steps as they transition from, being in sober living, inpatient facilities, to living back on their own. All the resources that are available to them if they find that they need it, if they find that they're having some weak moments, because it will happen. And so we are preparing our clients to make sure that when they get back into the world that they have that success. And so that's part of my job, is to educate you know, be a listening ear, answer any and all questions, and just to help bridge that gap for them. And it's really been a great experience. I am learning to roll with the punches, and there's always something new coming up, but it's never a dull moment. And I'm really super excited that I've been given this opportunity. I would say, like, I've been doing this, it's been a solid month now, going on to my second month. I've been accruing a lot of great experience outside of hours, of course. But as far as that, I'm really excited because on the outskirt of doing that, I'm preparing for the NCE exam, and I talked about it briefly on my other videos. And just basically, once you graduate with your master's, the next step is to become independently licensed. And so what that looks like is you have to take a board exam. Depending on what state you live in, there's different requirements, different types of exams that you have to take. And so I am right now studying for that exam. It's called the NCE. And really, you just have to apply for the exam, you pay for it, and then once you get approved to take it, you get scheduled. And so I'm in that process right now. So once you pass that exam, then you can get provisionally licensed, where you're not independently licensed just yet. You have your provisional license status, and now you have to complete the rest of your supervision hours before you become independently licensed. So that is the process and the part as to where I'm at. Again, I am super excited, taking it one day at a time, because it can be very stressful. It can be a lot. And so as I'm winding down with school, which I do believe school is probably the hardest part of this, and now transitioning into getting real life practical experience, I can honestly say that, you know, some days I feel very brand spanking new. Some days I feel like an expert, but overall, you know, I always remember to just remain and stay humble and stay in a student's position, meaning I don't know it all. I am not the expert in these clients' lives. They are the expert in their lives, and I'm there to help facilitate in the best way that I can. So that's been, it's been a wild journey. It's been a wild ride, but I'm really happy that I'm coming to the conclusion of that. And as one door is closing, another one is opening. Okay. So now that I've kind of touched a bit on internship, now with the last two classes, the electives, meaning these are classes that you can freely pick of your choice. I'm taking a stress management, and I'm also taking a family violence course. And so one of the in the family violence course, actually one of the assignments that we had to do, we had to watch a video. There was a list of videos that we got to pick from, and it was all sorts of family violence that's depicted in these films. So the film that I decided to go with was the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez. And it really just talks about, or what we had to really do in this assignment was watch how family violence, or in this case, domestic violence, really took place, and how that impacted not just Jennifer Lopez in the movie, her character, but also like her daughter, and just all the hoops and hurdles she had to go through to finally, you know, get to the ultimate end, which is where she ends up, you know, having to step up, defend herself, and ultimately taking her husband's life. Interesting points in that movie. That movie personally made me emotional, but one thing I learned in this family violence class is that domestic violence, family violence happens a lot more than we really think it does. And as scary as that sounds, we usually experience abuse or violence from the people closest to us. And I thought that was very bizarre and very scary. And I personally can relate a lot to that. So that was one of the reasons that piqued my interest on taking this class. But a lot of what I've been learning so far in this course is that domestic violence, child abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, all of these things, family violence overall, it's something that I don't want to say every single one of us experiences, but majority of us do, and a lot of us kind of turn a blind eye to it. A lot of us that are victims are very afraid to seek help. And so I just found it very interesting how often this occurs, and just how, I don't want to say overlooked this is, but just we're still in this space, in my opinion, where I feel like we don't really have the solution as to why this occurs. You know, there's just more so, these are the reasonings, these are the patterns, these are some red flags to kind of look out for. But it's almost like it happens and occurs so much, it's like, but why? So it's very interesting, learning a lot. That actual assignment was really good. It opened my eyes to domestic violence happening even couples that, say they love each other, so very interesting stuff. And for the stress management course that I'm taking, I think this course is great, and it's crazy because I just rented the textbook for this class, but I'm going to end up buying it and purchasing it because one of the things that I felt was super important that I took away from this course thus far is the importance of exercising and our well-being and just physical activity. And so it really breaks down at the science level the effects that exercise has on the brain, the body, the nervous system, physiologically and psychologically. And so for people who maybe struggle with the idea of working out or feel like it's just something that only certain people do, I can admit that working out truly has healing factors for mental stress, emotional stress, physical stress on the body. And there's different ways of working out and achieving that physical activity. So while some people may think like, oh, I need to just work out really hard at the gym, I need to lift weights, I need to run, bike, all these things. And that's not necessarily true. Working out can be something that's fun. I mean, to even be honest, even doing household cleaning around the house, that is a workout. Dancing is a workout. Yoga is a workout. Pilates. Going on a walk and bringing a friend with you or a significant other or your children and going out for a walk or even by yourself and walking around a neighborhood. It doesn't have to be this or intense hyped up situation where you're dreading, and I think that's where the misconception can be. While you do have some people who really love to work out, they love that extreme stuff. I'm definitely one of those people. But I definitely think there are different ways to target that and to really alleviate the stress on the body. So I would say that was the biggest takeaway for me so far in this class, that physical activity does help alleviate a lot of stress in our body. And as far as just next steps, and as I'm coming to the conclusion of grad school, the only thing I would say that kind of sucks about it is that they don't have a summer commencement ceremony, so I cannot walk in the summer. I will have to wait until the fall, which is in December, to be able to walk at graduation. So that's the only thing I would say that kind of is a little bit of a bummer, but it's all good. I'll definitely find a way to celebrate myself with my family for this great milestone that I've reached. But honestly, beauties, I am so excited. I am cheering for anyone else who is on their journey of completing their master's. And anyone who is interested in starting their master's and starting this journey, definitely feel free. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to be your little cheerleader on the side and just egging you on. And actually at my job or at the internship that I'm doing right now, there's someone who's been working there for in that field for 15 years and they don't have their master's. And I thought that was really insane because I'm you have all this experience. You can get your master's degree and make a lot more money and you can really step up in the ranks. And I somehow, I don't want to say convinced, but almost inspire this individual to apply for graduate school, and they're literally on their way of walking through their doors of, starting their master's journey. So that made me really happy inside. So again, be sure to comment, subscribe, share this message, and just continue to follow me on in this journey. I'm super excited for where this is leading me, for where this is leading us. And until next time, I'll see y'all.